G'day guys, welcome back. Another week of building the Soleil rail. This week we're taking a short break from planking to place this grating onto the mid deck. So the process shouldn't take that long. We just have to measure the position for it. Gives us the dimensions of how far from the mast hole it goes. Paint under where the grating goes black so we can't see the deck, and then we have a few pieces we have to fit onto that deck. We've got a 2x2 strip that we have to get 45-degree angles on so they meet up around the edges. We have to shape those strips with one of the Artesania shaping tools, and then we also have to cut some pieces of planking that will be placed on these areas down here, which we have to shape a little bit on the edges, and eventually it will. I'm well lining up the camera today, am I? So eventually it should end up looking something like that. I am going to make a couple of small changes, but we'll get to that as we get to it. So I'll set the camera up and we'll get started. Okay, I have the decking in place. Measurements for it were 11 millimeters from the back of the mast hole there, and then working out the width was quite easy. I just counted to find the middle square here, line that up with the center, and did the same thing at the back, so that should be pretty well exact, and it does follow the lines of the decking. So once we've got that place, I'll just mark it with a pencil. Okay, now we've got that line on there, I'll just mask it off and we'll paint that. So I'll just get some paint ready and we'll move on to that. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Let it dry. I'll do another coat, and then once that's dry, we'll continue with adding the grating. Okay, that paint's dried. I've removed the masking tape. The grating will be sitting right over it. That actually looks pretty good the way it comes through the holes in the grating. I won't stick it on just yet. First I'm going to add some little beams that go across each of these points. So I'll just reset the camera for that and we'll continue. Okay, what the instructions call for is to use these boards. They're 1.5mm by 5mm. They're the ones that we plank the hull of the ship with. They then want us to put a die onto them. I've actually tried a few of these planks, dyeing them, and I don't think they actually come out particularly well. So I'm not sure what sort of wood it is, but it's pretty cheap and nasty. So what I've decided to do instead of that is I've got some Soleil, and I'm going to use that instead. I think it'll come out looking a lot better. It's exactly the same dimensions, 1.5 mil by 5. So we're going to start off that, measure how wide we need these to be, which is exactly 4 centimeters. So I'll start cutting those. Just grab my little cutting gadget, whatever you want to call it, guillotine, whatever. Okay, so I've got what have I got, 5 of these to cut, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll okay, we've got the 5 boards cut, all 4 centimeters long. What the instructions call for now is just to sand back the very top edge, give it something like a 40-45 degree angle. So it's not a triangle, but you know, just to take off that edge just a little bit. So I just use my sandpaper to do that. Start on the ends. So that's enough. See that? It's just a little bit, just on each top edge. Probably only going back a couple of millimeters. Just even it off a little bit. And same thing on the side. One more side to go. I don't think the camera will be able to pick that up, but it's just taking the edge off the top. So I'll get the other 4 done, and then we will glue them to the hatch. Okay, I've got all 5 sanded on that top edge, so we're going to place them onto the grating. They just sit across where those white strips are. I'm actually going to use white glue because I want that extra time just to be able to get it perfectly straight, which I don't think the CA glue is really going to work. So I'll just put a bit of white glue on here. Just use a bit of wood here just to clean up the excess glue. Try not to put too much onto the plank because I don't want an abundance of glue seeping out the side. It's not difficult to clear it up afterwards, but it's better off not to make the mess in the first place. With the CA glue I just wouldn't have time to make that little correction. Okay, there we go. So we'll let that dry. We'll be then putting it onto the deck and then making the final border that will go around the outside of that grating. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, we've got these planks going across here dry. Next up we have to add these 2x2mm safely boards around the edges of the grating. So I've got 2 of them, and then this piece I'll cut into another 2 for the ends. Before we actually can cut them down and fit them, we have to shape them. Now Artesania Latina have these shaping tools. They have 3 sets. Set A, B and C, and each one is a particular if the light can get it, around the edges it gives you a size and a different shape that you can use to shape the wood to what you need. The one I'll be using is this one here, and it's the Where is it? Here we go, 2 by 2. It's just basically an arch, so we'll be rubbing that along the edges, or scraping it along the edges like this, and that will actually shape the wood into that arched shape. I don't know if you can really see it on the camera. It's actually hard to see it myself. But yes, I'll complete the rest of them, and then we'll start cutting them to the shape of the grating. Okay, we've shaped each of the pieces of wood to go around the outside. 3 of them I've already measured and cut the edges to 45 degrees. So the way I've done that is basically just started on one end, and what I did is I just took a tiny bit off, and it's not quite right, so then I get my sandpaper, adjust it, that one out. Okay, so then that fits in properly. Go down the other end and again mark it. Same thing, just a cut. Now, I do actually have a miter saw, which I could have done it with, but I was, because it was so thin, I don't think my saw's overly sharp. It wasn't cutting properly, so I've just been doing it this way, and so far I've gotten lucky, and it's all worked out. So yes, that'll fit in perfectly. So I think it's going to be difficult to actually glue these to the side while it's on the table here. So I'm actually going to put the grating onto the deck, and once that dries, then I'll add these onto the side. So I'll just adjust the camera for that and be right back. Okay, I apologise guys, but I've actually glued this down. I thought I had the camera running, but it wasn't. All I've done is used white glue just underneath where these boards are on the bottom. Stuck it in place, used the white glue as before, just so I had that little bit of time to adjust it. Made sure it was dead straight. So all I'm going to do now is leave this to dry. Once it's dry, we will add these boards to create the frame, and then that will complete the installation of the grating on that mid deck. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, now we're just going to add the border pieces. This one I will use the CA glue, because the boards have actually got a slight what do you call it, bend in them. I think it's due to the shaping tools, so the white glue just won't hold it quickly enough. Okay, we'll do one of the ends. A little bit more in there, I think. And do the other end, fix the wood. And finally the other side, which way around it goes. Oops. I have to give this side a little bit of a sand because I just managed to put it on upside down. And there we go, all done. I'll probably go around, just give a light sand just where the joins are. But overall I'm pretty happy that I decided to go with the Soleil wood. I think it looks a lot better than staining the plain white wood that they supply. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you join me again next week. See ya.